So, it is Tristan Things here. Welcome to episode 2 of Can You Hear Me When I Talk to You, the Cory files. These files are my podcast. I will be talking to my big brother figure, Cory, who was a staff at one of my home with the OBWDD office for people with developmental disabilities. There is a thing they have that's a boundary policy, professional boundary policy. Sometimes even no contact comes in. That's what they did with him, and to my understanding, from what people were saying, they did it immediately with no contact. Anyways, this is my way of closure because they will not let me get closure, which is wrong. If we were able to ask anyone else that happened to know the stories and what led up to him being removed, crying and begging someone not to leave before knowing they were actually moving on anyway is wrong. To take them out before they were leaving officially to the new job, because he wasn't leaving for a week or two from what I remember him telling me. But Cory got taken out sooner because somebody, and will no longer rephrase who, and someone in, I believe, Albany, which is where the office is located for OBWD, took him from what I was told. Anyway, these are just files for Cory who will never hear it, unfortunately. That's why it's Can You Hear Me When I Talk to You is why it's called that. Yeah, and it's actually a reference to a country song from like 2002, the same title, Can You Hear Me When I Talk to You. Ashley, I cannot pronounce her last name, but she was a young 13, 12-year-old up and coming country singer. And she was singing to her dad, who passed. And there was no closure because that would never happen because he's gone. Gone. But anyway, with Cory, he's still with us and just not able to contact because of stupid state. But that was a lot. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah. I'm looking at my medication here because I've been busy and I'm concerned. I did see on my control, what they're called. I'm not saying my meds because I shouldn't do it. It's a medication for have anxiety and stuff, and it does say drowsiness and stuff. I never take it. Here's the thing about me. I think Cory always kind of agreed a little bit with this, even though the guy wanted to be a nursing, go back to nursing school to continue being a nurse again, or whatever it was with that. Anyway, I don't believe in meds. I don't believe in doctors and stuff. I just don't. I think it's money, just like the OPWD. Now, when it comes to doctors, like doctor for cancer medications for headaches, that I like. I don't like going to the doctor, but I will go to checkups for physicals. I'm talking about medication for mental health. That's what I should have said. Like the pill I was talking about. Because it does make you high. Because I've had one. But nothing fun being high, but not off a pill that makes you dizzy. That would be like marijuana, cannabis. I would rather be. But yeah, medications just, when it comes to mental health, I believe it works. But it doesn't work completely. That's also what I want to get at. So I refuse it. You know why? The, the help I've been getting is very little. Cory was the very last anchor I had with OPWD. The ones way before him, and even with him working, he was the last to go. And he was taken the wrong way. Everybody else retired and told me they were going, when they were going, actually going, and not taken before. But anyway, or they quit because OPWD sucks now. Yeah, the pills. I'm getting at. I'm getting off track. We'll get to talking to Cory because I'm thinking of good talking to him too, and you guys. So, medication for mental health, it works. It only works a little. People need to help you have it work. That's how I view it. That's how I look at the song, the film by Nirvana. I believe that's what Kurt Cobain was getting at. It works, but you need more help. So, other pills are giving me drowsiness too, I'm looking at. So I pace a lot. I've been stressed. Not this week. I've been pretty good and feeling good because some stuff came up that I'm happy is being hopefully fixed and won't be brushed away because it's a pretty serious situations. But that happened. Anyway, that's making me dizzy. That's why I've been dizzy. Not just because of lack of eating and not eating. That's what I meant by that. But the freaking meds. I hope I'm recording still. I always forget my screen turns off. There's a music playing in the background. I apologize. Oh, it's recording. Okay. If I fart, I apologize. I'm eating and I haven't eaten in a while, and I'm being bad with my diet and eating animal carcass like meat because I need to gain weight. So it's funny though, because Cory always said, meat doesn't give it a gas. It's being vegetarian, Cory. You're probably right. It's probably because I haven't eaten meat in a while, and that's why I'm farting. Anyways, potty humor is my favorite thing, anyways. But anyway. Oh, okay, these are extras. I gotta put them back. Well, spot they're at. Yeah, that is I'm dizzy. One of the reasons. Also, not eating. I have a bad balancing issue anyway, because I just always have. And I think my feet kind of like turn funny when I walk. Like turn. You know what I'm talking about. Is that what they mean by narrow feet? Like they turn the opposite. I can't explain it. The way I feel like I'm probably not explaining right. But anyways, oh, the medications are making me dizzy. Not eating. Although I've been eating, the medication's still doing it. That part. I don't know. Plus, my grandparents' house is like an obstacle course, and I'm ducking everywhere because it's basically meant for a tiny person and not a 6-foot guy. You know, and that paces a lot. I hit my head on that chandelier twice because I know to duck it since I've been coming here a lot. A lot of people hit it, she said, Grandma, but it's like boom today. It kind of hurt, but not really. Because it just grazed the tip of my head and hit my hair because it's spiky hair up, sticking up. So it's like, pay attention. Their banks are going to bump into everything. Yeah, the name change, Cory. You're not going to hear this. I'll stop saying this because it's probably going to be annoying for viewers listening. I want to change it to still be called Tristan when I legally change it. Because you know my legal name isn't Tristan. I would never establish my legal name. But and my last name is changing. When I get those files figured out and get the money for New York State cost to change names legally, go to court, everything, it will be Banks Corwin. And then the last name is C, which is Yorcott or Orcott. There's different ways that it's pronounced, I feel like. I have it pronounced different on a generator to show people how to pronounce it. And then YouTube pronounces it different when I go on like a pronunciation. But it's a German last name from my research. Yeah. And it kind of sounds like you were caught. There's a reasoning for the last name, besides the German, because my grandpa David was Irish and German. And his last name was Welch. My last name is Welch currently. It's going to switch to Yorcott. Keeping a German last name with a significant meaning as well besides German. And then Corwin is Cory Win. Corwin. Basically Cory 1. So Flowers in the Attic. There's the little boy, Cory, spoiler for the book and the films, dies from poisoned. And I have a premise for a film, or a book, that I want to maybe write that is based off of that, but based off my own life. Loosely. So Corwin is the main character. That character, Cory from Flowers in the Attic, who died. Basically, Cory 1 and didn't die from poison. because in the book premise, we're gonna get to the Binks part. Yeah, it's basically the oldest kid was Christopher, but changing the Corwin main characters. The twin sister is Kirsty, with C, or the actress that played the sister in the remake, who's Sabrina in the Chilling Adventures, and then Christy Swanson, I think is what it is. Technically, the original Buffy, off the movie. But yeah, and then Cory isn't just Cory from Powers, but Cory for Powers. No, Cory for Cory's Files. See, the F's I kind of messed up those parts, but yeah, it's for Cory, my anchor, and then Cory from Flowers and the character Corwin for premise for a book. And the book is called Christmas in the Attic, Starving in July, because the mom is starving the Corwin character. That's the poisoning thing part in a way. But anyway, so Binks, Daiquiri, I think I say it, Binks, Hocus Pocus, the black cat. I like that name, Binks. I like it. So yeah, when I do legally change it to, Binks, Corwin, Yorkot, that way it. But people could still call me Tristan, because a lot of people got used to it by this point. So it'll be a nickname, Tristan. Yeah. I'm trying to get people to say Binks, because I like that. But yeah, I know Cory likes cats like I do. I mean, he definitely does. I've seen it. I think he liked Hocus Pocus. And he likes something connected to Hocus Pocus, at least I know this. Mary Sanderson was on The King of the Hill, and Peggy Hill, she's voiced by Kathy Najima, who plays Marian Sanderson. Hocus Pocus. Show connections to Cory. A lot of the name is, including my own self. Because if I can't get that closure, Cory, that's my way of getting it. In a way, in this podcast. Won't make me feel better. But I'll feel at least better, if that makes sense, a little better. Because I'm so sick of them. The system's destroyed so many people, not just me. They've done crap to you that I know you did not like them doing. And I know you felt horrible. My heart knows you did when you got taken sooner. They keep saying that you left that week and you were. If you did, it kind of breaks my heart if you did do that to me. I don't feel like you did. I definitely don't. Because you made plans, I remember it, to make spaghetti with sauce that tasted enough like sausage. The sauce tasted enough like sausage, and those are sausages. And you know that I was doing the vegetarian thing at that moment, starting it. And you know I wanted to have something with everybody, and not always trying to find what I wanted, and you and the other roommate I had, finding and saying, this and have. And it was me. Yeah, and then the carrot cake. I don't think you meant to make that with me, but you know you like to bake. I don't know. The fact that you even told me, when you officially did tell me that I had heard right that you were leaving and got your job somewhere else with the state. You told me you weren't leaving that week. I think you said something about you had to wait for the position or something. And you even said, don't fuck up because I'll be taken out sooner before I go. That's a lot of information to remember to be false, I feel like. Yeah. I feel like you could explain shit to people if they would let you. You were going to Fair Lakes for a meeting that you didn't know what it was. Although, Cory, you know. Just like I did. I told you you were leaving and you weren't coming back. You insisted you were. You were just going for a meeting and missed that Monday. Okay. How'd you miss it that Monday, Cory? I came in right. I don't know. And then you said to me that the other staff was coming in and you had to leave early and you'll be back. And then as soon as you left, you said, goodbye, buddy, I'll see you next week. And then I'm like, you're not coming back next week. The very last words I ever heard you say to me was, I will be back next week, buddy. I promise. I could see a bit of eyes that I've never seen in you, of sadness, because I think you knew what was going on, possibly. You walked out of the house. I watched you get in your car, and I was starting to feel sad, and I did cry a little bit as you drove away. I had a rough time that rest of that time. I made closure with my grandma, thank God, because of you being gone, and she was my other anchor that I needed. But that was because my sister Corinne was like, you made grandma cry. You gotta talk to her, and I did. And then a bunch of shit happened, and here I am, I'm in all the way in a lockdown facility with the state being just as badly treated as at home, with an evil man that represents that Jen's piece of shit. But you know what? I'm in Fulton with my grandparents for a week, so, and some shit is bound to happen. Won't get into detail, but something's about to happen, and hopefully it won't be swept under the state rug like nothing happened, because this is a serious thing that happened. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Eventually I want to do a videos, but it's kind of hard because my phone sucks ass. Until I could get an actual phone, I'm just gonna do audio. A lot of people did that in the back in the day anyway with podcasts. I don't have equipment anyways to pan on other people if I had them anyway. Don't have that money. I don't. Don't have the sanity to even edit. Hey, I love you, Cory, and someday maybe we'll see each other, and it won't be a bad place like heaven. Heaven's not bad, but I want it to be in person, and I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to upset anyone listening when I get into that part. But we'll see each other again. You never know what the universe brings. Have a good day. I am Banks Corwin Yorkut. Can you hear me when I talk to you, Cory?